Buongiorno, bikers. I'm Farax, currently getting stabbed to death.
Fight back, nigga! Fight back, nigga! Fight back! Fight back!
As I promised, I'm recycling content because this upload schedule fucking sucks. Today we'll talk about everything else in Night Train, which also includes its DLC. And don't worry, I won't do another narrating piece in this video like I did in the first one. So let's start with the coolest part of the base game, the everdark bosses. These are what some people just called hard mode bosses, but luckily it's not that simple. Magari. Ma magari, cazzo! The first boss that gets this special treatment is the very hangy boy, the Gaping Jaw. The fight starts with a common occurrence in these everdark versions, which is that they all start already in the second phase, and if they don't, you should probably be very scared. So the Gaping Jaw, starting with his second phase, makes useless its poison weakness because, like in its basic version, he will no longer puke the poison and getting all that good damage. But remember, it's not just a harder version where the fight starts in the second phase, because another common occurrence in these boss fights is that there's always a twist. Yes, there's technically a third phase, if we count the first phase as a second phase, because it's technically the second phase, but it's not longer a second phase because the fight starts. I don't care what you say, it's convenient to my narrative. In this case, it's quite simple, more damage, and a new special attack where Idol starts to teleport and create a tornado that deals tons of damage, and the only way to not end like a cow is to be far away and use a super jump, like the thing that is normally in the map and never in a boss fight, and go over the tornado and fight Idol inside it. Now, look at me, dead in my eyes, and try to tell me this is not absolute cinema. Also, trust me, this phrase will be used a lot when you fight these bosses. So here's, maybe a bit late, a spoiler warning for the other bosses. These unique interactions change from bosses to bosses. Some of them are just cool and easy, some are generally hard, and there's Libra and Gladius. So to be brief, I have to sell my soul to YouTube trends, and I will do a tier list. Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to my new tier list. Today we're ranking bosses in Elden Ring Nightreigne. That was weird. Anyway, we rank them in the chronological order. So we have the Gaping Jaw. It's a solid A tier. It's the first one to ever come out and caught everyone off guard. I think they choose the perfect one to be the first everdark boss to be introduced to the players. And it's crazy enough to make us understand that this is not just an hard mode, and it was so good that we were already looking forward to the next week for the next boss, which was the Dark Drift Knight. L'ho pure scritto male nel copione, and it's an S tier. Change my mind. Actually, don't even try, because you can't. He also starts the fight in second phase and has a special third phase, and this one is absolute cinema. I can't. How can this shit be so good? It doesn't make any fucking sense. You fight him in his full capabilities with attacks that are incredibly cinematic. Also, he's still weak to thunder damage, so be sure to have something that deals that kind of damage because it helps a lot. He also has a fucking... Next up is is, I don't know, it's technically there's two of them, but it's the sentient. Anyway, the sentient pest, it's B. The fight starts in second phase, but that second phase I hate it because they just run around and shoot at you and they deal tons of damage, and yeah, it's not that great, but it's a problem with the actual fight. And instead of a classic third phase, a new enemy appears and revives the two original bosses. When you kill one of these two, the red one will revive them, buff them, and enhance their moves. When you kill the red one, you win, and that's it. After the sentient pest, there were 3 weeks of rotation of these 3 bosses, until they added Ogre. The fight starts in a rather suspicious way, and the first time I fought him, I thought that there was something wrong. I was doing a monstrous amount of damage, and I noticed that that wasn't Mary's. In case you didn't know, some Night Lords can spawn as random events during an expedition, and the Ogre is one of them. Of course, it's not the same thing, but the Ogre is very different even in looks. In fact, the Everdark doesn't start in the second phase, but with the random event version of Ogre. When you kill it, it drops the weapon of your character, and an adult version of Maris comes out of the sky. This is a gimmick fight like the one from Demon's Souls, and it's a bottom A. It's a classic gimmick fight, and the surprise effect was incredible. I wouldn't guess a gimmick fight in 1,000 years. Also, the fact that I took the lore of Maris, which says that the one we fight normally is not a fully developed one, so they make you fight a fully developed one, an adult version of Maris is just so good, and it's just so fucking cool. It looks so cool, and the details, the fact that Maris is already ocean or sea inspired boss, and now he has more details that recall this sea team. It's just so great. But I have to be kind of sort of not so incredibly objective, and I can't put it too high. It's a bottom A, like I said, which makes it better than the Sentient Pest, because the Sentient Pest, it is good, it had the surprise effect like this one, but it was something that was never worked upon, or nothing that, oh yeah, that's a cool detail. No, this guy comes out of nowhere and revives them, instead of, oh, now we are fighting the cool version of the boss that I was fighting all along. The next week was Caligo. Listen, I'm a simp for dragons, and the fight starts with the barrage of attacks from the second phase. And unfortunately, the third phase is very underwhelming. She gets an armor of ice that is easily broken. When you completely broke it, she gets staggered. It's easy, but I love the music, I love Caligo, I love the fight because it's kind of cool. She gets a new attack with a nice explosion. She creates this big-ass ice thing that probably destroyed the Titanic. And makes it go boom. Not only doing an insane amount of damage, but also giving her back the armor. Okay, so after Caligo... Oh god, please, no. Gladius is S tier, even if it's bullshit. I love how the fight starts with the 3 of them and how the biggest AoE attack resembles the one from Holstor. So, yeah, Gladius gets an S tier. Lower than Fulgor, but still an S tier. Come on. they are just the goodest of boys. Outside of being goodest of boys, the fact that you have to change your strategy when you fight them, because when they quote-unquote aura farm, I know I hate that term too for a boss fight, but it's actually what they do. They get a damage buff and they can one-shot a level 15 raider. It's kinda scary. And those were the Everdark bosses. After some time, they've released Deep of Night, and it's basically a mode where the bosses are randomized and the enemies are buffed. Also, there's gear and relics that have a stronger and weirder effect, but with some sort of debuff. There's a ranking system where the deeper you go and the stronger the enemies are and the more strange the effects can be. Also, there's a chance that you don't know who you are fighting, and it's great because it includes the Everdark version, so it's double random, even if that Everdark boss is not in rotation. So you could say, yes, it's Ogre and Caligo, and I will try maybe do some Deep of Night runs so that I can get my rank, and you fight fucking Everdark Libra. Hello everyone, this is Farax from the future. Here to tell you that this is the first part of the post-launch content for Elden Ring Nightraign, and the second part will come soon. I've decided to divide the video in two parts because if I made it everything in one video, it will be taking too long. Also because I'm very busy during this summer, so I decided to split the video in two parts so that I can try to make the first one come out in a reasonable time. I hope that you enjoy the video, and as always, stay awesome, be kind, and ride safe.